Hi guys, how are you? So nice to be here with you. Hi Frank, how is it going? Um, let me see. See if I can bring up the light. Well, just a little bit. It's a bit dark here. Okay, this is a difficult video to make. Yesterday I was supposed to come out on a live session, but I couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to be here in front of the camera asking for help for Blue, for a cat. I couldn't I couldn't do it. Simply I couldn't do it. You know what I was doing yesterday at this time? I was glued to the TV, to the internet, waiting to hear some news from Israel and Gaza. It's been a difficult week. It's been a very difficult week. It started with the horrific events in Israel, the massacre by Hamas, the aftermath. When we got the news about the attacks, I had an Israeli friend of mine here at home, staying for a few days, and we were in shock. She was in shock. She rushed to the airport and came back to her country. Now, after this happened, the next few days have been a roller coaster of emotion because on one side, we're looking at the attacks and the effects on the people, and on the other side, I'm hearing about everything that's happening in Gaza, and the world is waiting to see what happens. The world is waiting for a response. So yesterday, when I was about to come out to talk about Blue, the little kitty with vestibular syndrome that we have just rescued, I just couldn't bring myself to be on camera trying to raise funds for a kitty when so many people were suffering. Please stay for this conversation because I think this is important. When somebody says, I only pray for the animals and not for the people, I do think that there is a better perspective than that. So yesterday I was having conflicted feelings of, shall I do it? Shall I not do it? I mean, what am I gonna talk about? I'm torn because I feel for everybody. I feel for the Israelis, for those that have been personally affected, for the entire country, but I also feel for the millions of civilians in Gaza that have nothing to do with this. I am a father of 2 children, and I see the pictures of these kids. It's not their fault. They shouldn't be going through this. So I couldn't come out and talk about animal rescue. But then I thought, no, hold on a second. What you're doing is really important. I mean, this is precisely the time to talk about animal rescue. I don't see boxing fights being stopped. I don't see comedies being stopped on TV. I don't see the regular programs stopping. It's not for us. It's not the time for us to stop. So I just stopped and I penned some thoughts about this issue. In a time of war, is there a place for animal rescue? Why should we give animal rescue importance? Compassion. Compassion is not a finite resource. It's not something that, okay, well, I have a little bit of compassion for the people of Gaza, a little bit of compassion for the ones in Israel. I have some compassion for Ukraine and some compassion, and then I have a little bit for animals. It's just not work like this. It's not how compassion works. Compassion is a boundless energy. It's a state of mind. It's something that is much bigger than all of that. compassion is, it shouldn't extend just for animals or just for humans or just for the people here or just for the people there. It's much broader than that. And it's badly needed in a time like this. And it should be in everyone's minds. I was just talking again to Leonor, to my friend in Israel this morning. And I was saying, look, I do feel enormously for the people of Israel, but come on, look at the people of Gaza, the ones that have nothing to do with this. You can feel for compassion for both sides. It's not something that limits, that has any limit. It's boundless. There's been moments in this months, I would say, because the world seems to be in an eternal state of conflict. Some of them touches us more closely, some seem more far away, but the reality is that there is always a war going on. Started with, for example, is the last recent 2 wars, Russia, Ukraine, now this. Shall we just stop? Because the news are very depressing. Let me tell you, it's terrible. But then you think, when a bomb explodes somewhere and kills X number of people, humans feel terrible about what happened. But that doesn't negate the same feeling of sadness and compassion that we feel when a stray is run over by a car, or when there is another case of animal abuse being discovered. It's not a zero-sum game. You're not going to run out of compassion if you have it already in your heart, because there is another war, or because there is another animal rescue case. I write it in my messages to my friends and donors whenever we have a case, that a certain case must act as a beacon of hope. I'm always talking about the issue and about the concept of hope and how it is so important for animal rescue, to continue doing what we do, to focus on saving an animal's lives, even if that animal seems too far gone. I'm always talking about hope. So this is the same. Whenever there is an animal rescue case and people get involved and people getting share and comment and donate and everything, all of this, it creates a ripple. It creates a ripple that extends not only to saving that animal, but it's a ripple of compassion and goodness that extends to the society. I mean, some of the best people I know are animal rescuers. Amazing people. And usually, we don't only care about animals. We care about people very much. When somebody tells me, I don't care about people, I only care about dogs and cats, I always think, well, why? Compassion is not a finite resource. Shouldn't be focused in that way. I am torn about what is happening today. I'm torn about what is just about to happen. And I really hope that somewhere, some people find that ounce of compassion and realize that compassion shouldn't extend only to their own people, but also to others, to those that have no fault of their own. I truly hope that the people that did these attacks to Israel are brought to justice, swiftest justice possible. But I really hope that those million kids that are in Gaza today, waiting for hell to open loose, I hope somebody finds compassion in their hearts. And I'm not talking about animal abusers, obviously. Anyway, it's not easy. You could say that I'm in a state of shock. Watching the news is just, I've never felt like this in my life. I'm 52, but this time is just very intense. But I'm here running an animal rescue. And our cases never stopped. We just went to Switzerland to pick up Winston. He's now back with us. We have Blue at the hospital. We're about to go into surgery with Nano. We've been trying to rescue a dog really sick over the weekend whilst all of this was happening, only to be told that they didn't want our help. And the dog died 12 hours later. We need to focus. We need to focus. I urge you, I beg you to stay tuned, to see what is happening, to give support to those that deserve support, and to feel compassion to those that deserve it as well. Within the next few hours, we may see something unlike anything we've seen in our lifetimes. And I really hope it's not. I really hope people find the way people find compassion for those that have no fault of their own. That's it. It's not about animals today. It's about difficult time. Yesterday, I tell you, I just couldn't come out on camera. And today, it's a little bit more of the same. Patty, I don't feel alone. I don't feel alone. I actually feel it's just terrible. I'm seeing these videos coming out of Gaza, and I'm seeing these kids, and I'm seeing my two kids in each one of them. And it's difficult. But I know what I'm doing, and I know what I have to continue doing. So don't worry about that. Just don't lose compassion in your hearts. Of course, nothing is. I'm not gonna finish. I'm not gonna end rescuing animals, but you too shouldn't lose perspective. That compassion should be extended to all. And you will think, wow, how strange that an animal rescue is here talking about compassion for humans. We only like animals. No, that whenever somebody writes that to me, I think, no, really, no, you're losing your way. Anyway, keep an eye on what's happening in Israel and Gaza. Both people deserve our love and compassion. One thing is the people of Israel, and the other is the government of Israel. You may agree or you may not agree with what they do, what their policies are. Another thing is the people of Gaza and the Palestinians and Hamas. They're not the same. They're different entities. Deserve a different approach in the way we feel towards them. And don't be afraid of speaking up. Something else that my friend in Israel said the other day. She said, right now, there are a lot of animals without families on the streets, in the cities, near Gaza. And when you look at them, these are home dogs, these are loved dogs that suddenly have lost their entire families. The people of Israel are organizing to collect all these animals and to home them and to find them temporary homes and long-term homes. It's a tragedy what has happened there. A tragedy of unimaginable proportions. So when my friend told me this, I realized, of course, human tragedy and animal tragedy always go hand in hand. Animal rescue always has a human component. And these animals wandering the streets without a family in Israel just prove that. I always say, animal rescue is about hope and resilience. And I really hope that through what we do, we can bring a little bit of that to the world. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a busy week.